Hi, everyone. I'm Pip from Seymour Digital Media. You're listening to Know How Marketing Lab podcast. This podcast brings together different experts in marketing from our Facebook group, Cyberpunk Geeks Marketing Mixer. Each week we get on here and we talk about something search marketing like Google Ads or SEO, social media marketing from Facebook to TikTok, or website marketing. If you're a marketer or aspiring marketer, a business owner or entrepreneur, this podcast for you. We're going to share the best SEO, search, social, and website strategies. We share tips and hacks, Google Ads strategies, what's going on in the current market. Each week we discuss something exciting and awesome in marketing. We are here today to talk digital marketing. Well, I fixed Greg's name. So yeah, we're here to talk digital marketing. I'm Pip, Seymour Digital Media. Greg, who are you?
Original 72 Creative.
Phelan.
I'm Phelan. I work with Pip at Seymour Digital Media.
Right, and we're missing Rena, and
I'm flanked by the SDM team.
Yeah.
I'm sandwiched.
Yeah, so because, search, social, and websites, we're missing the social element right now, but we have lots to talk about today. There's lots going on, as usual. Phelan, do you want to start us off with what's going on in the world of marketing?
So one of the big ones that came out is there is the new rollout that just got announced today for the July update for the Google Core. So everyone put a little marker and watch what the rankings, your rankings do.
Oh,
yeah. So over the next week, definitely keep an eye out for that. That's a big one that just literally came out today.
Last update was in May, and we're seeing the results now, like where it's
for the end of the results, where people can actually analyze and be like, "Oh, hey, it looks like we did lose it." Yeah. So, and so that's every 2 months, usual pace that they kind of do it at these days. And so, that's a big one that's come in. Another one that's been interesting, especially for any new people with Google My Business or Google Business Profile, is that they're doing video verification of the.
Love that.
Yeah, which is going to be interesting to see how they what that looks like. If I'm sure, like anything, somehow people are going to manipulate that and be bad.
We do have the articles that we'll link in the bottom after this, but that was an article out of
search engine. No, Land. The Barry Schwartz's forum.
Land Journal,
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track.
Well, I'll give it to Barry Schwartz. His search engine Land has been around since before 2000. So he's
long time.
Definitely. Yeah, it's one of the two main ones that I use for a lot of the news.
So if you're out there and you want to know who we listen to, Barry Schwartz on YouTube, that's one of the places we go for our SEO news, because they keep us in the loop, and he talks about everything. Greg, you got any, what's going on in the land of websites?
Not a whole lot on the WordPress core front. Things have been pretty quiet. Their last release was pretty stable. I think there's only been one update since then, so they're probably at 0.0.1. But there's been some big news from the theme development community. Two of the larger themes, the one I use, which is Cadence theme to build all my projects, and also Astra theme, which I know could be the number one theme currently. I can't remember. There's a couple that are really high up there, but they just released a new update for their theme, which has really heavy integration to WooCommerce. So you can be able to do a lot more styling for a WooCommerce store. So it should be quite flexible, be able to modify your layout somewhat with a bunch of settings. Just if you're familiar with Astra, everything basically is in the customizer, and you just go through the sections, toggling things on or off, or changing font sizes, colors, all that kind of goodies. And the experience for customizing your WooCommerce store is heavily integrated into that customizer to be able to do tons of different layouts for your product pages, and I think even your cart pages and things like that. So that was released, I believe, earlier this week. And then the Cadence, as we were getting ready to do this live today, I was actually in a live webinar for the Cadence Shop Kit 2.0, which is officially released as of today. And they were just showing how their ShopKit works. So ShopKit, unlike the Astra theme, which everything's sort of built into the Astra theme and in the customizer, ShopKit is a plugin that you add into Cadence theme that extends the functionality that you have to be able to customize your WooCommerce store to the point where you can basically build your own product or archive layouts themselves. Unlike the Astra, where you go through settings and toggle things on and off, or like I want this look or I want that look, which are all predefined. The Cadence Shop Kit goes further in that you can actually develop and create your own templates for the products and archive pages, to the point where you can specify this category, I want this looking product page, and that category, I want a completely different product layout, right? So I think while the Astra theme one is probably easier for the daily, hacker that does their own theme and likes the customizer and just plays around and makes tweaks, the ShopKit one for me as more of the developer side is better, so that I can actually be able to design and create my own custom layouts for the archives and for the product pages. So I'm excited for it because I do quite a few product sites or e-commerce sites. So it'll be fun to start experimenting and getting a little bit more creative from the product view than just what the default has been for this long.
Forever, yeah. That'll be nice because there isn't much give when it comes to your category pages or product page.
You could do customization to the product page, but it was basically coding new templates, right, to replace the old templates and writing your CSS and writing your code to do what you wanted. Whereas the ShopKit option, everything you're customizing and building is using the WordPress block editor. So you're basically going into a page and designing through the block editor what you want your pages to be, and then specifying, okay, pull in the product image here, pull in the product title here, pull in the price here, and you just you just create your own custom layout without coding. You need to know how to use the block editor quite sophisticatedly, but...
And how would one go about learning that if they were going to learn?
Call me for tutorials. I don't know. You pay me enough, I'll do a live tutorial with you.
Well, I think that's awesome. And people can go to YouTube and kind of get the gist of it. I mean, to be honest, you start out in marketing, you're like, yeah, I can build a website. And then you figure out what you're good at and you stick to that. And then you can't build websites necessarily. Maybe that's just my story.
It's true. Anybody can build a website. Not anybody can build a specific looking website.
Yeah. It takes work and practice, right? So it's good you keep up to date on all of this. And I did check. You are right. I do not say that often, but you are you are right that it's WordPress 6.0.1. Yeah. That's interesting about all the plugins. We found a really good plugin we love. What was it, Phelan? It speeds up your site. It's gorgeous.
Oh, WP Rocket. It's definitely, for a plugin, is probably the best one for speeding up your site for PageSpeed Insights and all that. It's paid. There is no free tier to it, but I can firmly say that it's probably easily one of the best ones that I've seen.
Yeah.
So if you're having a real issue with it, it does really good.
I use Hummingbird. Hummingbird is a free and a paid tier option, but the free option is crazy good. I haven't really ever come into any conflict issues with it, with any themes or plugins, which is one thing that happens quite often. Is you'll go to optimize the site with the plugin, and it'll cause some type of conflict within your site theme or other plugins that you're using. But yeah, Hummingbird's really good too.
Yeah. I don't know why we didn't try that one, but it's good free.
Mostly the main reason why we didn't try that one is because it was part of the. I thought it was more suited to the Divi theme since it's made by the same company, Elegant Themes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. That was just my own interpretation, but definitely very content with the WP Rocket. Anyway, getting back to some more of the news.
Search news? More search news? What?
Yeah, there's lots of things that happened with YouTube and Shopify connection there. And I've seen it myself in the wild where your Google Merchant Center account now can connect to your YouTube account.
What does that look like? What
so
is going on? I'm watching a video and...
So you're watching a video, and it's, if you've ever looked up the video, what it looks like in the Chinese TikTok, so the original version, they have a full e-commerce integration. And what it looks like is that in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see like view the product, and the video is about, like, in this case, it was like a cheeseburger. Like I didn't pick it; it just randomly showed up on my feed, but it would have in the corner a button that says view product, and then when you do that, it takes you to the Google Merchant Center checkout page. So it kind of has details about the product, and then says, hey, do you want to go purchase this product? And then you click that, and it takes you to the Shopify store.
Oh, interesting. That's going to be a good one to measure. And that's a certain type of ad inside Google Ads?
No, they can be both. So this is where you're looking at your shopping ads, and you'll be able to do some placements there. I'm guessing it's going to count as a placement. And then from there, you're also, because they now integrate your Google Merchant Center account with your Google Analytics and Google Analytics 4, you'll probably be able to measure where that traffic's coming in to even just onto those landing pages before they even make it to your store. So it's becoming a much more cohesive ecosystem for you to do measuring on.
When we met on Tuesday, we were talking about Netflix and TV screens. And in Google Ads, the TV screen portion is getting conversions now. So people are converting through bigger screens now, which is very interesting to see. I mean, it's going to be amazing to see where things go in the next 10 years with marketing. I think we'll all be pretty tired by then because it's a lot of change, right? Imagine being able to pick up your converter and click and buy something right there. Oh my God, is that like?
Well, you guys know from the TV platform you're using how handy that little remote is. Like, it's a full keyboard in the palm of your hands, right? Yeah. And like, there's no reason why if TVs move sort of in that direction where you can have some type of a remote with a keyboard like that. I mean, it's the same as being on the computer. Yeah. You're literally looking at a screen with a mini keyboard, and you could do whatever you do on a computer.
Yeah.
And even alternatively, from that, like, same concept, but one that I had heard for doing like even direct mail ads is that now you can tie that in with an Alexa or a Google Home. So you get a direct mail, or say you see an ad on the TV and it says, hey, if you want to learn more, tell Alexa, tell me more about blah, blah, blah. And you can have that as a set command, as a skill that triggers. And so that way you can do directly tying it to the ad, because you could have it specific to what they see and the command. And then that is only visible on the TV or in direct mail.
Mm. Oh, the future is, we always picture Total Recall. Is it Total Recall? In the scenes?
There's a couple that are futuristic.
And then I'll do the ads. So I think, we just anticipate. I didn't realize it'd be so.
Oh, do you mean Minority Report?
Yeah,
is the one you're thinking of?
Minority Report, and there's also the one with Arnold when he goes to Mars. No, it's very old.
Yeah, no, that's a great movie. That one, the one that people really take away from that is the Johnny Cab, right? Like a fully automated vehicle that you tell it where to go, and
we're almost there. We're almost there. Almost. Want to know more about SEO? We've got a class for that. Our mission is to educate students about the right tools, techniques, and strategies to grow their businesses using the most up-to-date search engine marketing optimization techniques and tools. Find out more at knowhowmarketinglab.com. So screens are growing in conversions. We talked about websites. The social element is that Facebook keeps calling us.
Yeah, they've reported in their Q2 filings that they put out yesterday, they had their first reported quarter of lower ad revenue than expected. So they actually had their ad revenue decrease, which is meant that their stock took a hit. Yeah, it's bad news all around for most tech companies, to be entirely honest. Like most of them are down, did not hit their quarterly targets, and Shopify even laid off 10% of its staff.
Yeah, there are some changes happening in the market.
Meanwhile, grocery stores are record profits.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. And even though the inputs haven't gone.
And Amazon bought a hospital. Or
hospital system.
Hospital system.
Yeah.
My apologies. Yeah.
So, yeah. Don't worry.
Woo, it's interesting out there with all this.
So Amazon is going to have a system that will be implemented in hospitals for them to use to do. Is that what the system?
Amazon
system meaning like software system.
Yeah.
No, like a hospital network.
Yeah.
They're like, you go to visit the doctor, like we're in Canada, so it's a little different for us, but like a medical system will have your primary care physician, and then they also have their own. So that's when people say like, oh, you're in network. It's because they own a variety of these so they bought a primary care network.
Okay.
It's not the first time that they've gotten into medical fields. They tried to be an OBN a little while ago, which basically is the person that buys. They're the purchaser for companies to buy medication and supplies and stuff like that. And they're basically like a distribution point. And they did that with Warren Buffett, and it completely failed, and they had to sell it a couple of years later.
Oh, interesting.
So they're not. They have tried to come at medical before, and they haven't been successful.
Are they doing food as well?
They own Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be able to go in the app and get a Band-Aid delivered by drone or something. Maybe if you got a little scrape on your knee.
Right?
Yeah. Or like an appendectomy. You could just have one ordered off of there. They're just like, oh, yeah.
So the reason Facebook is calling us is to increase revenue. And, the other asides of Amazon doing crazy things, the world is, as we know, it's different. So it's really weird, though, in marketing, because we're seeing all these big movements, right? Some marketers are suffering because they worked in Facebook, and as we see, Facebook ad revenues down because of the big change that happened, 5-6 months ago?
Yeah, and generally as well that they've been fighting. I mean, it's the tendency of the rate of profit to decline, and it's a phenomenon that happens over time, and these guys need to keep finding new avenues and new ways to do advertising, and they're just hitting hard limitations on what's actually possible for them in their advertising space. And so, as well as right now, everyone is leaving pretty much all the Meta platforms. In like the Instagram user, I think, was also down as well.
They're going hard on Reels now because they're trying to keep up with TikTok. But most people on TikTok have another channel that they go to, and they do additional or other content. Like they either send you to YouTube usually or to Instagram. I don't see that getting sent to Facebook very often, if ever.
No, it's usually the pairing is usually your TikTok with your Instagram.
Yeah,
is usually
or YouTube, right? And the YouTube Shorts work really well as TikToks, and actually stories on Facebook work really well. Because the format's the same, right? So
yeah,
I think Facebook just started getting better or more music so they can use, the same kind of music TikTok can use. So yeah, it's a dog eat dog world out there for the marketing channels. Like Snapchat's down, right? Twitter's down in revenue. And Rena was saying, I'm sad she's not here, but she was saying that it's a good time to spend because it's going to be cheaper on those platforms. The audience is going to be smaller and so maybe more engaged, and the ad cost will be lower. So, right?
Yeah. Well, and the other thing to do as well is this is a really good time to start learning how to do server-side setup, so that because as we're moving to a cookieless future, you're going to want to learn how to set up a server-side Google Tag Manager, because
that's
because then it would count as a first-party cookie, and so you have a lot of
a good future topic.
Yeah. It sounds like an intense topic, though. So that's something Greg here could do as well as yourself. But as a marketer, I might not have the skill set to go server side.
It depends. There's a really good plugin that's free, and your first account, if you're only having one website, they give you one for free, and that's called Stape, STAPE.
Okay, you're gonna have to share that after.
Yeah, I'll share a link to. Yeah, I looked it up. It was looked pretty reasonable, all things considered.
That a marketer could learn how to do that and just follow a guide, or is it? Do you think the depth?
Yeah, it's right now. It's about a year old, I would say, server side rendering, and in that time, there's been a lot of people that have built tools and kind of abstracted away the really complex things. And so for you, it's as simple as you go to WordPress, you get a plugin, and then you tie it to your
Stape. I want to go server side. If I want to go server side, getting a plugin, that's not going the other side.
Yeah, it is.
You think so? I don't think so.
100%. Without a doubt, it is very much going to the server side.
My skill set, I'm in Google Ads and SEO. I don't do this other stuff, crazy stuff y'all do. So,
so speaking of that, do you have any news from Google Ads side?
I do. Actually, there's the new ad creative hub. So we've had a lot of change over the last while. All the old text ads that are in the accounts are still running, right? The expanded text ads that they got us to do in 5 years ago or something. Well, they're all still running, but you can't make more. So now you have to make responsive search ads, right? So we all knew that for a year. So I thought they were just going to turn off the old ads because I was being paranoid. And no, the ads are still going to run. You only have one choice now. So there's a lot more automations. And they now have this ad creative library hub, which is super interesting. We're going to, I think, spend some more time in there. And that's going to be to do better things with video and stuff like that. The other news is that Google Business Profile, which, is all for SEO, local SEO, is really pushing that you interact with it on the search engine results pages now. So you don't go into the back end. If you type in your business name or Google Business Profile into Google, basically they're pushing you to do all your edits to your Google Business Profile inside the search engine results page, which is really neat. I'm wondering if that's for trying to grow the time on page, right? Because on Google, you go to Google, you leave. And Google hates that Facebook gets users and they stay. So I don't know if they'll count that as a measurement of sorts. I don't know.
I don't know about that part. My guess is that they are trying to cut down on costs, so that they would rather, instead of having the spun up server time dedicated to actually having a dedicated website and dedicated app, they just why don't we just move that all into the maps and then save the money from having this separate department, and then you guys are just part of the maps team.
And they did change it, so there's no more of the Google Business Profile app.
Yeah, right? it's now everything's done in Google Maps on your phone if you were to respond to users, anything like that.
And I don't know if any of you have seen it, if you use directions, on your phone, and you use Google Maps and you go somewhere, it'll show you the reviews right in there of the actual place you're going to, right? They push you business owners to get reviews. So I think that's another way to push people to leave reviews, right? Now, do y'all leave reviews?
No.
Not very often, but if I feel really compelled to, I will.
Yeah.
Like if I had an extremely good or extremely bad,
Yes.
there's no like, hey, I'll just give them
I do 1s and 5s.
General review.
When people do three stars, I'm like, well, what was the point of that? Thank you. You just told me it was mediocre.
Yeah.
The other thing that's happening is Google Search Console is now indexing video. So.
Oh, yeah. And I've even seen that out in the wild. One of the clients that we onboarded had that plugin, but you could see it in their Search Console that video showed up. I didn't get a chance to dig in just yet, but it's cool that more schema is getting indexed and properly sorted as Google wants to expand the search engine results.
It's going to be really interesting to see what goes on because now they have YouTube Shorts, is that what they're called? So maybe those will end up showing up in the search engine results pages as well.
It's possible that I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that information.
Is there any other news that we need to know about besides that it's topsy-turvy out there and marketers, some are really busy, some are staying where they're at, and others are a lot quieter. So it's definitely a crapshoot with what's everything that's going on out there right now.
I feel like next month, because it's like August, I feel like it'll be slower in new things, at least from my point of view. Like when I know a lot of business owners, they tend to choose late July and August to take their couple of weeks away from their stores or businesses. So things tend to slow down for me to catch up, which is nice. So
that is nice. Yeah. We're not experiencing a slowdown. It would be nice to take a couple weeks. We are at Christmas though planning. We are already planning because if you look at the dates, just for anybody out there, from the 23rd to the 3rd.
Whoa.
Yeah. All that time off because of the way the holidays work. Oh, it's going to be.
You're going to go to your timeshare finally for the first time in
ever
10 years?
No. We're not. I have too many dogs and we don't travel right now. We're our home is a vacation spot.
Yeah, there's no a real upside to
everybody that travels seems to get sick when they get back.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. So I'm a little, trepidatious. I don't want to get sick. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking marketing and we're out of time. Do y'all know who and what we're talking about next week?
I do.
Who and what? Oh, what is it?
Oh, well, it was the one that Phelan and I were going to switch with Rena. So it was going to be Rena and me, but I think it's going to be Rena and Phelan now, talking about blogging breakdown for best results.
Ooh, that should be really interesting. So that's going to be the how to do blogging and incorporate it with your social. Gosh, that's going to be brilliant.
And content distribution. Kind of something that we touched on and how you can use all these things together.
Yes, that's true. Now we have to go teach. We're going to teach some schema today. Woo!
That sounds so fun.
It is fun.
It is.
If you've joined us
the
today,
most fun you can have.
Right? If you've joined us today and you know anything that we didn't talk about, please leave us a comment. We'd love to know what we might have missed. And we will see you next week, 11 a.m. Pacific time in Cyberpunk Geek Marketing Mixer. Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.
The conversation never stops in our Facebook group, Cyberpunk Geeks. Join us at facebook.com/groups/Cyberpunk Geeks to ask your questions, meet new friends, and learn even more about search, social, and websites.